we are tracking breaking news just into our newsroom within the last 30 minutes. Stellantis says its UAW workers will not get a profit-sharing check this year.
The automaker reports its North American profit margin fell below the threshold set in its 2023 union contract last year. Now, by comparison, General Motors and Ford are paying thousands in bonuses to their UAW employees. Stellantis cites falling sales, tariff costs, and higher warranty and incentive spending for the decline.
We reached out to a company spokesperson who sent us this statement just moments ago. It reads in part, "As we move forward, we are confident that the decisive actions the company has already taken to put the customer at the center of everything we do, such as reintroducing the legendary Hemi V8 engines in the Ram 1500, will support profitable growth and put us on a better path for a stronger, more successful 2026.
Yeah, that all sounds good. But, you want to know what messed up Stellantis? Not just Stellantis, GM, Ford, these other companies as well. What messed these companies up is that the government told them that they would fund their ventures into the EV space, right? Because the government, again, was trying to incentivize these companies, the big three, to produce and go in the way of electric vehicles for a more, quote unquote, green environment, right? And what they did not tell them, though, and what they did not understand, I don't even think they understood it. They just made a mandate and was like, get it done. But what they expected, or what they did not expect, was that in order to produce these EV vehicles, there would be a lot of things that these companies would have to do as far as changing their infrastructure, right? If you think about it globally, or just if you think about it countrywide, right? Not globally, but if you think about it countrywide, America does not have the infrastructure set up for EV vehicles. Just think about it. We don't yet have the infrastructure for that. Maybe it'll be in place, 500 years from now, where it'll be a common practice and we'll have figured out better technology and a better way to bring EVs into the market. But as of right now, bringing EVs into the market is a bigger headache than having gas powered vehicles and running them across the city, right? It's just not as lucrative, and the benefit is just not big enough for them to delve fully 100% into the EV revolution because of the costs that it's going to take to do so. And on top of that, you have to have a consumer base to do this. The consumer has to be there. You have to have people that are willing to go out and buy EVs en masse. We're not talking about, the 1,000 people that wanted to buy EVs this year. We're not talking about them because they're not the majority. The majority is not the ones that's going to be making these companies money. So they don't count. If the majority is still saying, nah, we prefer the gas powered vehicles. Nah, getting an EV is too much of a headache right now. I got to try to have something installed at home. If not, then I got to go somewhere and charge it. If we don't have the infrastructure and your consumer base is saying, we don't want EVs because you all haven't set the country up for that yet, then guess what's going to happen, you all? EVs will remain a market that is a niche market. It's a niche market that is largely paid for and delved into by people that have money. If you don't have no money, chances are you ain't going out and buying an EV vehicle. Right? Now, sure, you can go get some little, you can go get some little bitty car, some little bitty bug car and drive that around. And sure, it might work for you. It might be, a positive for you as far as travel and gas mileage and things like that. But take me, for instance, I'm somebody that's 270 pounds. I'm 6'4". What am I going to do with a little bitty vehicle? I can't do nothing with that. I cannot do nothing with that, right? It's like Shaq getting out of a clown car. We're not doing that. So again, these companies are beholden to not only their shareholders, but they're beholden to the consumer. And if the consumer is saying, listen, this ain't what we want, then these companies will suffer, and they have suffered for it. They've lost millions and millions and millions of dollars They've lost millions and millions and millions of dollars trying to go EV. And guess what? That doesn't bode well, and that doesn't go over well with who? The shareholders. And the shareholders are who these companies are beholden to. Make no mistake about it. If the shareholders ain't happy, then the CEOs of these companies are not happy. And it's just a trickle-down effect. If the CEOs ain't happy, the higher-ups and the management ain't going to be happy. And if the higher-ups and the management ain't happy, guess who it trickles down to? You, the employee.
This for Stellantis means no profit sharing.
The automaker's UAW workers won't see any checks this year. Fox News' Robin Murdoch joins us live from Sterling Heights with more on this story. Robin.
Well, this obviously not going over well with these Stellantis workers. As you mentioned, the Stellantis workers who are part of the UAW, they are not going to be getting these checks. And as you know, these are checks that many of them rely on to pay the bills, to make ends meet. So this is definitely a big blow for them. Let's talk a little bit about some of these profit sharing checks and how they have been decreasing steadily in recent years. In fact, back in 2022, the previous payout for that profit sharing check was right around $15,000. And then in 2023, they received just over $14,000. Then just last year, that number did drop dramatically to right around $4,000. Then again, in this year, the new news that we are just learning is that UAW workers at Stellantis will not get a profit sharing check at all. Now, we, of course, did reach out to Stellantis for some comment, and they did say that as North America results did not meet the minimum thresholds defined in the 2023 UAW collective bargaining agreement, there will be no profit sharing checks for the UAW represented employees for 2025, end quote. Of course, that is just part of the statement that they did provide to us. We also did reach out to the UAW to try and get comment for them, to get their reaction concerning this, and we are still waiting to hear back. But of course, when we do, we'll be sure to share.
All right, so I don't know if many of you caught what she said in there, but what she said was that a lot of people were depending upon those profit sharing checks to pay their bills. And my question to you is why? Why would anyone be depending on a profit sharing check to pay their bills? If you are depending on or dependent upon a profit sharing check to get by and to pay your bills, you are living well beyond your means. You need to chill. If you are, again, let me say that one more time. If you are dependent upon a profit sharing check from the place that you work in order to be able to pay your bills throughout the year, or for even a couple months, then you are living well beyond your means. You need to dial it back. You need to scale your life back. Because why would you be dependent upon something that is so dependent upon the market and how well the company does? What sense does it make for you to be depending on a check that you don't know? First of all, you don't know if you're going to get one. Secondly, you don't know how much it's going to be from year to year. These checks, these profit sharing checks, what people don't really understand is that they're dependent upon how well the business done. So if the business is suffering financially, then guess what happens? You suffer financially. No profit sharing check. You can't lose millions upon millions of dollars and then turn around and hand out millions and millions of dollars to your employees and your associates. It doesn't work that way, you all. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. And what Stellantis is saying, for the first time ever, we're at a net negative as far as cash flow goes because we didn't make no money last year. We lost money in 2025. They're saying they lost money. So if they lost money across the company-wide, then no, you don't get a profit sharing check because there's no profit. It's profit sharing. You share in the profits of the business. So if the business didn't make any profits, then guess what? No profit sharing check for y'all. This shit is not rocket science. This shouldn't even be surprising for you if you've been paying attention. And why wouldn't you be if you work for a company? You should be paying attention to everything that's happening with with the company that you work for. So nobody that actually works for Stellantis should be shocked or surprised that they're not getting a profit sharing check. You all should have up firsthand information more than anybody would. I would be asking so many questions around there. Yo, how we looking? Yo, what's going on? What's the business looking like? And that's outside of using your Googles. That's outside of using these supercomputers that we have, that we carry in our hands every day. But nobody should be shocked. No one should be shocked. It's called profit sharing. You share in the profits. If ain't no profits, and ain't no checks. But again, these people that go, see, what's happening is the culture has told y'all that it's okay to get a huge bonus or a huge profit sharing check, and then go out here and blow it. That's what's happened in a lot of these cases. She said that for 2 years consecutively, Stellantis gave out checks of nearly $15,000 for both years. So you talking about in 2 years, you got a bonus of $30,000. If you didn't put that to good use, if you didn't put that in a squirrel fund or a nest egg or invest it in something, then guess what? You done fucked up. It's no way that I'm going to get a check for $15,000 back-to-back years and not have invested any of that money or not having put away any of that money. That's you all's fault. That's you all's fault. This reporter standing up here making it seem like it's woe is me for people that didn't receive a profit sharing check. You got $15,000 one year, turn around, got nearly $15,000 the next year. Then after that, you got a $4,000 to $5,000 check. Yo, listen, you have no one to blame but yourself. Take your finances into your own hands and make the necessary adjustments. Stop trying to live lavishly and keep up with the Joneses. Stop trying to go out here and blow the entire racks and racks at the casino, or trying to stun on your friends, or trying to buy a new vehicle. Why are y'all going out here? All of y'all don't need a Wagoneer. All of y'all don't need a Wagoneer just because you work at an assembly plant. You don't. You don't. A lot of you will be just fine with the vehicle that can get you from A to B that's reliable and won't break down. But no, y'all out here buying the top of the line. I need the top of the line. So not only are you buying newer vehicles, but y'all buying top of the line newer vehicles, which is costing y'all extra money. And you become interdependent upon these companies to give out those profit sharing checks. And all of a sudden, when you don't get one, you looking crazy in the mirror in the morning. You want to lash out and go to Twitter and talk about how frustrated you are that the company ain't giving no checks out. You should have been prepared for this. This is why it pays to know what you're doing with your money and how to manage it. Anyway, drop a comment down below, y'all. I'll holler at y'all later. Good luck to y'all out there.